Well, just like in a real house, I figured a dollhouse can never have too many books. So I came across this method for making some super simple, kind of beat up, well-loved looking books. I'm going to share it with you today. Stay tuned and see how fun and easy this is to do. Alright, so to start our books, we need just a chunk of regular corrugated cardboard. You know, the stuff that boxes are made out of. We're getting a lot of stuff. Maybe you've sent for some stuff for Christmas or whatever. I think we all have some cardboard boxes laying around. Don't need very much. So the first strip, I cut a strip of 2 inches wide. And make sure the corrugating is running this way. The second piece, about 1.5 inches. I'm saying about because we're not going to use the whole width, because it depends on where in our strip these corrugating things lie. It's going to affect where it folds. So line a ruler up so it's about in the middle, and take a tool. You could use a paintbrush handle. You could use a ball stylus like I'm going to. Really anything that's hard and kind of rounded on the end. And it's not too big around. I think this one's probably about 1/4 inch. And it's okay if you break through the cardboard on that top layer. In fact, you want to kind of break through the cardboard on the top layer. Right down the middle. And it's going to be close. You're not going to get it folded in half. All right, kind of fold that. Take the second piece that you cut at 2 inches. You just want a divot down that center-ish part of our cardboard. Now, I'm going to move out my parchment paper. So I'm going to run a bead of glue, and this is just tacky glue, down the center of that biggest piece first. And you're going to really push that down in there, the skinnier one down in. Then we're going to run a thick bead of glue down the second one, down the middle of the skinnier piece. And you want glue to kind of spread out. Come on. I think my glue is running out. By the way, best decision I ever made as far as glue goes was to move my tacky glue into that container. It works so much better. And this is messy. That's why I've got it on a piece of parchment. And we're using a lot of glue, so this is going to take a while to dry, especially if it's cold and damp where you live. Even under lights or something, it takes a while. Make sure everything is shoved back in there and clamp it. I like to use clothespins. They will make some dents, but we've got extra here. This one got glued yesterday. Yeah, I've been playing with this for a while. It's a lot of fun. Now put this aside to dry. Actually, I don't have that on the table. And I am going to see if I can clean my hands up with a wet wipe, because I am very full of glue now. Alright, now I've got one here that I started yesterday, so the glue is dry. Now, this doesn't fold even, so we're going to figure out which side is shortest, and you're going to probably need a pretty heavy pair of scissors. And if you can't do it with scissors, try it with a straight edge and a craft knife. But I'm going to try to do this with the scissors. Doesn't have to be perfectly straight. These are supposed to be kind of worn out, beat up books. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get that a little more cut off there because the center is sticking out. That's the main thing I don't want. Get it started with the knife. There. Kind of score it through that top layer. Now, the next step is to cut this down into book sizes. And this would work in Barbie size too. So I just want to throw that out there. This one's bigger than the ones I made the other day. I'm going to cut narrower and make some skinnier books from a section of this. Just be careful you don't cut yourself because you're putting quite a bit of pressure onto the scissors to cut through here. Just make various sized books. And I'm just going to stop with it. This is a really big one. How big did this come out? This one's about 1.5 inches, so this would be a big book, but books come in all sizes. That's the beauty of this project. Now I have some off-white, some ivory colored craft paint. We're not going to need a lot of this, but we're going to need some. A fairly large brush, and you're going to really poke the paint into the edges. And it's okay if these are kind of beat up. Like I said, that's kind of the idea. These are going to look like books that have been kind of misused. Now if you made a thinner one layer of cardboard, you could maybe create some magazine covers and put on them. It would look really cute that way too. Really shove the paint down in. I'm using off-white because I don't want it to be too white. If it was white, it would look off because these are beat up books. They would have staining. The pages would have yellowed a little. And if you've got pages that are pulled back, like layers that are pulled back like that, be sure and get paint in there. Get paint shoved down in there so it really coats all the surfaces. I'm going to cut a few more books off of my piece there, paint the edges, and then when this is dry, I'll be back and we can go to the next step. Alright, so off camera I glued a few more. What I did was I took just one folded piece and one single piece and put in the middle to make some smaller books. And I didn't get the paint in that one very well, so I'll have to go back and do that. But now we're going to paint, in fact there, you can kind of see I didn't get this one painted. We're going to paint the covers. Now you could cut cardstock and put on for covers. I'm going to paint mine because that's the easiest and the quickest. And that's kind of the idea with the Trash Treasure. It's something that's quick and easy. So this color is Empire Gold. Use whatever colors you want. Books come in all colors, they come in all sizes. And just paint up as close as you can to the edge without going over. It's a really forgiving project. Ignore the cat. Once again, he's, I don't know what. He does this. Some colors might need 2 coats. It depends on the paint. So I got that color. Let's do a black. I'm not going to paint them all on camera because it could take a while. Line my paintbrushes up next to my colors that I've used them in, and then I can paint more. Now if you get color on the pages, on the edges where you painted white that you want to keep white, just go back and repaint that. Just touch it up later. This is a really forgiving project. So I am going to turn the camera off. I'm going to put a coat of paint on everything, and maybe 2 coats on some of them, and fix up the white, and then I'll be back. Alright, so here are the books that I've worked on, and I'm going to do a little decorating on them. Nothing fancy. I've got a silver Sharpie, which is fun. You can make some marks on the spine. You could do some like marks in the corners. Silver Sharpie works nice. I have a gold gel pen, which make sure you don't use the gel pen on wet paint, but it does show up beautifully. And gel pens come in all colors. I have a whole bunch of different pens. I have a paint pen here, which, yeah, that's ready. You kind of pump it up and down on a piece of paper to get it ready. So like you could do maybe some marks. A lot of times books have markings on the spines, little like lines. You could do any number of things. You could, paint them, or see if this pen will work. I'm not sure if this is going to be dark enough. You could paint a design. You could find pictures of covers in magazines and put on. You could do anything you want. So there's just a few things on those, and here's some I did last night. I wasn't feeling well yesterday, so I was sitting at my desk messing around with these, and I just did a few just to kind of play with the process. But that's how easy it is to make a whole bunch of kind of beat up looking books for the dollhouse. And I love books. I love books in real life. I love books in the dollhouse. So I hope you've enjoyed this Trash to Treasure project. Be sure and check the blog post. I'll try to have some better pictures there. If you'd like to help make this channel better, follow my Patreon link in the description box. And you can get your name at the end of the video just like these folks. Talk to you later. Bye.